Welcome to Chapter 5, Part 3, where you're going to learn how to use the color panel and to also save unnamed color swatches to the swatch panel. So the first thing I need you to do is make sure you have your last name, first name, Oahu magazine cover open. Once you have that open, I want you to take your selection tool and click on this cyan border around the outside of your image. And what you'll notice is now that your fill box has changed to the same color that is on your image. So then we need to open up our color panel. So right now our color panel is not visible, and yours probably is not either. So we're going to go to Window, Color, and then select Color, and that should bring open our color panel. So to change the options and detail on this color, we need to go to our Color Panels option button, which is always in that top right-hand corner, and select our CMYK so that we can change the individual colors. So we're going to change our magenta slider to 50%, and then we're going to change our cyan slider to 50% as well. And then you can leave your yellow and your K at 0%, and what you get is a light purple color. So now we can also change, let's go ahead and change our yellow slider now to 100, and then we're going to change our cyan slider to 0. And now what we should see is a nice orange color. So changing these different functions will create new colors for us. And we can also use this color, like rainbow down below, and use an eyedropper to pick a particular spot on the spectrum. So I want you to take that eyedropper and just click somewhere in the green until you get a nice green color. But then what we can do is we can kind of refine that color to make it exactly what we want. So we're close. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the cyan slider to 70, our magenta to 20, and then our yellow and black we're going to change back to 0. So that we have that same cyan color that we started with, or something very similar. So now we're going to save the cyan color onto our color swatch, or our swatches. So go ahead and open up your swatch panel, and what I want you to do is you're going to drag the fill color from the tools panel or the color panel, doesn't matter, and you're going to click and drag that color swatch over into your swatches panel until you see a little line pop up and then that plus sign with your cursor, and then release. And you can see now that I have a new color swatch that's unnamed as far as a specific name, but it's just based on the colors. If you were having trouble with your click and drag, what you can do is when you click and drag, make sure that you're on the bottom of this so that you see that line at the bottom of your panel, and it should create that new color for you. So now what we're going to do is up at the top with this new color panel selected, our C equals 70, M equals 20, and Y equals 0, and K equals 0, you can now change the tint. So go ahead and either use the slider or change the tint box number, and we're going to change it to 45. And what you should see is a lighter color now in that swatches panel. So it's a tinted version of that fill. So we're going to save the new color as a new swatch by dragging the fill button down into the bottom of the list on the swatches panel. So making sure that it's on the bottom so that it will appear. So scrolling all the way down and releasing at the bottom. And so now we have that same color swatch, but it's same color, but it's at a tint of 45% from the original one. Now we're going to double click on the darker blue swatch that we created, so that very first one, so that we can rename it. And if you double click right on the words, as you'll see I did the first time, it'll just allow you to rename it there. But if you double click in this gray area, then it'll bring up the dialog box that we're looking for. And so you're going to uncheck the name with the colors, and we're going to change it to purple. And the way we're going to change that color to purple is we're going to drag our magenta slider all the way to 100, and now we're going to have a nice purple color, and we're going to hit OK. And now you'll notice that the light purple swatch is also now updated to the name purple, but 45% for that tint. Now go ahead and go to your file on the application bar, click revert, and hit yes. So we're going to change our document back to the way it was originally. So coming to file, and revert is going to take you back to what it looked like the last time that you saved the document. And hit yes. And give it just a second to revert back to its original status. And then you will save this document and move on to the next lesson, but still do not turn this in yet.